Right. Well, first of all, their team has to win for
Yeah.
them to be included in this list. That was one of my categories that I looked at. But also the impact that they had. The numbers might not be the best when it comes to when you compare it to the other teammates of in their team, but they had the most impact in that ball game this weekend. And that is why they belong in this list. And it's mostly guards, pal. Mostly guards.
So let us talk about your unbiased pick here from UP. Terence Fortea against FEU. His numbers over the weekend, career high, 17 points, 5 of 5, perfect from beyond the arc, 4 rebounds and 2 assists and 2 steals. Basically did everything in their win against FEU.
Well, with the absence of their lead point guard in Maymay Kagulangan, of course, the UP legend hitting that game winner last season, right? But Terence Fortea has stepped up big time for the Fighting Maroons. He's embracing that starting PG role, but not trying to imitate or play the way that Kagulangan does. He's a natural scorer, and he shoots first. So that opens up passing opportunities for his teammates. Compare it to Kagulangan, who's a pass-first point guard, and eventually that opens up scoring opportunities for him. So very opposite, but very effective at the same time.
Of course, I feel the question would be is that if JD Kagulangan's there, of course, former Lasalle and
Big
there.
question.
Yeah, how...
Sorry, by the way, Pao, that
it's okay.
JD had to
it's
move
okay.
to
He
UP.
won.
Yeah.
We're happy. So I think that's going to be a big question for Fortea when Kagulangan comes back. Moving on, Jerome Lastimosa for Adamson. Getting his shots up, 11.7 assists. I think the 7 assists were very interesting and a very good number considering na 0 turnover siya in 24 minutes.
That's right. That's why I chose him as the player of the game in that ball game and not his teammate who had 16 points. But, when you talk about Jerome Lastimosa, he had 11 points. The previous game, he had 25. That was against UP. But still, they got this dub against UE. Controlled that ball game for the Falcons like a true vet. He picked the defense apart, not just by scoring. Obviously, with the 7 assists, he made his teammates look good. And in the final minutes, when UE was trying to make that run in the fourth, it was the decision-making of Jerome that sealed the victory for them. And he just made everyone better. And it's very dangerous for a lot of teams when they go up against the Falcons and other people are knocking their shots down.
Do you think Adamson can continue winning games if their top scorer or typical top scorer is passing the ball instead of shooting?
Well, I think so, because number one, more points for everyone, harder to scout, harder to defend the soaring Falcons, but also that opens up more opportunities for Jerome himself because they will have to guard the other players of Adamson.
And the other side now, NU, Keen Baclan against UST, 16 points, career high, 7 assists, and 4 of 9 from beyond the arc. Of course, when you look at Keen's game, again, you combine his first 2 games, saka 15 points siya, pero dito against UST, for some reason, he likes playing against them, or like playing against them last time around 16.
Well, Kian Baclan, he played against his former team, UST, and then last minute, before the season started, he moved to NU. So he's very familiar with what UST does here, and it showed. First 8 points of the ball game belonged to Kian Baclan. He balled out, knocking down 2 triples to start off that game. And it was a confidence booster for him. From that point on, he just took control of that ball game, using his speed and ball screen skills, showing us what he has really been doing in the preseason, which we didn't see in the first 2 games of Kian.
You mentioned before that he wasn't necessarily comfortable yet with NU in the start of the season. It feels like he's comfortable right now, or at least based on what we saw against UST. And of course, moving on to Shawnee Winston, we talked about him a while ago.
Your guy. Can you call him your guy?
He's my guy. He's our guy, right? So 25 points, 10 of 21 from the field, shooting almost at 50%, ending a 5-year losing streak against Ateneo. And of course, when you have Shawnee Winston performing the way he's doing right now, we talked about consistency last time around. Sabi ni Manong Derek that he's finally used to Philippine-style basketball. Do you feel that we're still just seeing an upward trajectory here for Shawnee here in the early days of the season?
Well, Shawnee has been huge. Coach Derek Pamarin mentioned it, but for me, he's the mid-range god. To all the analytics guys there who just wants 3 points and layups, Shawnee's proving you guys wrong. I mean, I'd take Shawnee Winston every time when he shoots that jumper. I'd take Shawnee Winston shooting a mid-range jumper than Pao Dalarsari putting up dad jokes in the show. I know that's a high percentage here on the show, but mid-range Shawnee is also high percentage, especially this season 85. Look at those highlights. I mean, Shawnee, he's just calm, cool, collected, but he's a bucket.
Only thing higher than that probably is my free throw percentage.